What's happening, guys? This is House Cat MMA, and right now I'm going to be riffing about why Sean O'Malley is the modern era Uriah Faber. But before I get into all that, if you would just take a second to like and subscribe, do a little bit of comment and sharing, that should be cool as fuck. So, back in 2008, when Urijah Faber lost the WBC title to Mike Brown after defending it 5 consecutive times, he didn't know this yet. He didn't know, none of us knew. I was in the 5th grade, I didn't know anything. But right then, he became the 3-round champion of the featherweight division. He was featherweight at this point. Because you gotta think, so after he gets knocked out, TKO'd by Mike Brown, he beats Jens Pulver, which every featherweight with a dick beats Jens Pulver. Then he rematches Mike Brown, loses, beats Rafael Assunção, loses to Jose Aldo, beats Takeya Mizugaki, beats Eddie Wineland, loses to Dominic Cruz, beats Brian Bowles, loses to Renan Barão, wins 4 straight, loses to Renan Barão again, and later on in 2015, he loses his 3-round title to Frankie Edgar, and after that, he kind of went on to have a checkered record. And I think O'Malley's going to do the same thing. And I got this idea from O'Malley because O'Malley and the UFC 324 presser said that he wants to be the 3-round champion of the bantamweight division. I love that he said that. I love a self-aware man. And I think I was kind of excited when Petr Yan beat Murad Dvalishvili, because I was like, because Murad obviously has O'Malley's number. And I was thinking, what if O'Malley can beat Petr Yan? But one can only assume that Petr Yan and Murad Dvalishvili are going to have a rematch, and I think if they rematch, Murad will win. I don't think Murad. I don't want to take anything away from Petr Yan, but I could just see the way Murad looked in the presser. His eyes were hollow, and his cheeks were 3D, and I was like, what the fuck? But I think if he gets some rest and whatnot, I think he can beat Yan. So let's just say that happens. I mean, fucking Merab has Umar Nurmagomedov's number. Nobody else at 135 is holding the candle to Merab, say Merab gets his belt back. So, I like that. Because I think O'Malley beats the dog shit out of Corey Sandhagen. I think that if a rematch between Yan and O'Malley, that's tough. Because the first fight O'Malley and Yan had, that shit was close. That fight literally could have gone either way. It just depends on how you look at it. I got to rewatch it. I watched it like 3 times, and I would have agreed with either decision if Yan got it or if O'Malley got it. If you put more gravity on octagon control, you got to give it to Yan. If you put more gravity on damage, got to give it to O'Malley. But they were so neck and neck with both of those things. But yeah, like Urijah Faber and Sean O'Malley are very similar, because what I'm about to say, they're similar, not similar in this aspect. So right now, O'Malley is the same age that Urijah Faber was when Urijah Faber first got to the UFC, at 31 and some change. And that's around the time. So when Faber was about 29, that's when he didn't know it, but he became the 3-round champion of the featherweight / bantamweight division. So similar in age when they become the 3-round champion. And I love a 3-round champion. That's that's a cut above journeyman. You win every non-title fight you're in, then you find yourself in title contention, and you fucking lose. And sometimes you lose a close decision. That's what Urijah Faber kept on doing. He lost a pretty close decision to Dominic Cruz twice, and he lost wasn't a close decision, but it was a slightly competitive decision against Renan Barão. And then, when Renan Barão and Urijah Faber fought the second time, Renan got the TKO victory, which that was an incredibly early stoppage. That's around about the time Herb Dean started fucking up. That was like the curtain jerker of him starting to fuck up shit. But and then you got the crazy fight with him and Jose Aldo when I think we were about 3 leg kicks removed away from Faber becoming a paraplegic. And then you got Mike Brown. People don't talk about Mike Brown too much. But there was a point in time where that was a bad man. That was a real bad man. But just sometimes guys find themselves in these situations where their weight class is so stacked and they're one of the better guys, or they're the second or third best guy, which means you're one of the better guys, and just winning a belt is just not in the cards. And sometimes you're not John Jones. I mean, it's just the way it is. Sometimes you're not Henry Cejudo. Sometimes you're not BJ Penn. Every now and then you're not Anderson Silva, and sometimes you're Chris Weidman. It's just sometimes you do well, sometimes you don't. But I think O'Malley is, if O'Malley can keep from getting snapped the Hodor. My cat's making. Oh, did you find your thing, buddy? Okay, buddy. My cat found some kind of food item in the garbage, and he's been dicking around with it, and he lost it in my closet. My closet's closed, and he was trying to get it, and he was sticking his little paws from under my door trying to get it, and he was trying for it for at least 9 minutes. I'm proud of him. He shows some perseverance. But who else shows perseverance? Sean O'Malley. And assuming he stays healthy, he likes to get snapped the fuck up a lot. He's a little bit injury prone, and that's fine. These young men train hard. If he can keep from getting fucked up 3 times a year, injured 3 times a year, I think he's going to put up crazy numbers in the UFC. I think he's going to get a pretty good amount of wins, and I think he's going to be able to fight until he's 37, 38. I think he's going to end up with at least 23 wins in the UFC, and I forget how many. Yeah, Faber only had 10. I think Faber was 10-6 in the UFC, but that's because he did so much outside the UFC. He didn't make it to the UFC until later on in life. But I think O'Malley's going to retire at 23-8 in the UFC. But this is House Cat MMA, and I'll catch y'all later.